What's up guys, it's the Prince 1098, and with the My Hero Academia Season 4 well underway, I figured this is the perfect time to unveil this theory video that I've been working on for quite some time. It has to do with ERI, Mirio, and the return of All Might. That's right, we got a lot of stuff coming your way, but first, hey, what does a brother gotta do to get an intro around here?
I'll be careful when you
Everyone knows that after All Might's battle with All for One, All Might hasn't been able to continue his hero duties, forcing him to retire and continue a career at UA High School. We also know he's already chosen his successor to be Izuku Midoriya, and he's not ready to take up the mantle as a #1 hero yet, leaving the world kinda SOL for its symbol of peace and justice. And it's bad enough that the people of Japan know this, however the villains do as well, and that's an issue for obvious reasons. And one of those reasons being the fact that many believe that this could be the end of the hero society, or at the very least the dawn of a civilization in which villains have more power and credibility. Essentially, we see this as an opportunity for villains to shoot their shot, and we already see this happening in Season 4 and more so in the manga. But I will save that for another video. But right now we're going to be talking about the events that unfolded in episode 4, season 4, or episode 67 for all the people that like to say it like that, where Izuku Midoriya confronts All Might about the suspicions that he was not All Might's #1 choice to be his successor, but later finds out that All Might is going to die soon. And we're presented this information in a flashback to All Might's conversation with Sir Nadai, whose quirk is called Foresight. Essentially, he can tell the future of anyone that he touches, however the further into the future that he sees, the less accurate the timing of the events can be predicted. But the time frame in which he gave All Might for these events to occur is basically right around the corner, being this year or next in present time in the series. But the how Sir Nadai foreseen All Might's death is probably just as important to the theory, if not more, than the when, as he says, if you keep going down this path, you will face off against a villain and die an unspeakably gruesome death, which I mean, sucks, but the last villain that All Might faced up against was All for One in his rematch, and he survived that. He even won, as a matter of fact, which can mean one of two things. Either All Might has already effectively changed the future, or we gonna see our boy All Might throw hands once again, which would mean that he has yet to go up against said villain. But wait, how would All Might be able to go up against the villain in his current form? Well, that's where ERI comes in. Spoiler warning, at this point moving forward, we're going to be talking about a lot of manga content, so if you're not caught up to the latest chapter of the manga, I do suggest that you go catch up to the latest chapter of the manga. I mean, come on. So I'll give you a second. Okay, you had your chance. So what makes ERI such a focal point in this theory, which I will now be dubbing as the ERI theory, is the fact that her quirk is called Rewind. Essentially, she can rewind time for whoever she touches and send them back to a previous state of their lives. Furthermore, it's also revealed that she just might have the power to revert a person back to a previous evolutionary state, such as a human to a monkey, a human to a microbe. The possibilities are endless at this point. And forgive me for finding that funny, because apparently ERI's name altogether means to break reason, and many are calling it a mutation as it doesn't even resemble any other quirk in her family, which is why Chisaki needed her so much, more specifically her blood, to help create the quirk destroying drug, which is what inevitably stripped Mirio of his powers. However, all is not lost for our boy Lemillion, as there have been many theories circulating around the web that claim to be this is the way Mirio gets his powers back anyways, though no one seems to think that can happen with yours truly, All Might. The theory states that ERI can simply turn back time to a point where Mirio has his powers again and then problem solved. However, I guess it's not that simple given the fact that they haven't done it yet. I know part of it is because ERI doesn't have control over her quirk yet, and that can literally erase a person from existence if she loses control. However, that would only be a problem if she's touching the person, a problem that Mirio's quirk can easily negate. Now, chances are nobody wants to wait till ERI can control her quirk, and that's assuming she ever can. It's such a unique quirk that I assume it would take years for her to get a hold on, let alone master her ability. So what I can see happening is one of two things. ERI uses her quirk on Mirio in an attempt to get his quirk back, and either Aizawa uses his quirk to stop stop ERI at the point of Mirio getting his quirk back. Or, and the more likely of the two, while ERI's using her quirk on Mirio, he permeates through ERI as soon as he can to stop her from touching him out of existence, and then he gets his quirk back. And as for now, we'll just have to wait for them to think about that bright idea. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. It seems like like such a simple solution. I can't believe they haven't thought of that yet. But back to All Might. All Might doesn't have permeation, so he does run the risk of ERI going overboard. However, it's All Might. If push comes to shove, I'm sure he can get her off of her without hurting anybody. However, I'm sure Aizawa would be there just in case. Kinda like how he was there to stop ERI from erasing Deku out of existence when he finished off Overhaul. But that does raise the question. Would All Might get One for All back? Not like he lost his quirk the way Mirio did, so would the theory work the same way? Let me tell you why that's a yes. Also, quick shout out to our good old headcanon here. It's because ERI's quirk does not turn back time itself, it turns back time for the person she's touching. That's very important because our boy Deku would not be a variable in this equation. For example, if ERI uses her quirk on Deku to the point where he is pre-One for All, the quirk wouldn't go back to All Might, it would just be lost forever. And on the flip side of that coin, if ERI uses her quirk on All Might to the point where his quirk comes back, Deku wouldn't lose it, meaning there's now two One for All users at the same time. I have no idea what that means for the vestiges. It might just become one big group chat for all I know, but that's beside the point. We just duped One for All like a Minecraft glitch. This is very important because that makes Night Eye's vision more plausible. I mean, All Might is a hero down to his core, so it's nowhere near outside the realm of possibility that he'd sacrifice himself in the state that he's in right now to try and save someone one last time, but this way sounds a little cooler, so we'll just go with that. Personally, I can see this being a realistic route in the story as the world gets its symbol of peace and justice back, and All Might can use One for All to help groom Deku as his future successor, kinda like how they did back in the day. All Might even brought up a similar point in his argument with Night Eye that if he were to step down right now and find a replacement, what is the world gonna do in the meantime? Without the symbol of peace. This way there wouldn't be any gap in time where the world has to endure without its symbol as the torch is being passed down between All Might and Deku. But since this is a theory video, let's see how far we can take it because, you know, why not? All Might receiving his quirk this way means he can basically pass down the quirk once again, meaning in theory, All Might can essentially spam One for All to say Mirio, Bakugo, Todoroki, and well at this point, why not everyone? You get One for All! You get One for All! Yeah! Yeah! But actually, why not everyone? Well, this is where I start talking less about the possibilities of this theory and more so the practicality of it. I truly do not see All Might spamming One for All to all the young and up-and-coming heroes, or even any of the heroes for that matter, and that's for multiple reasons. First being the learning curve. It's taken Deku ages to learn One for All and also to get his body adapt to even using it at 20%. Using his quirk has put him out of commission countless times. In a world where villains are on the rise, a bunch of glass cannons running around the city is the last thing that hero society needs. I can only see a select few receiving a quirk like that right then and there and being able to use it somewhat effectively, like Mirio or Endeavor. Regardless, that's not the point. One for All is not just a quirk, it's a quirk given to the world's symbol of peace and justice and will continue to be passed down as such. The problem with giving it to anyone and everyone is the fact that with every other person that has One for All, the symbol gets diminished. Yeah, you can argue that it's not a good idea to put all that weight into one public figure anyways, and in many ways I would agree with you. However, in this case, it's more so like having a face of a franchise or an organization. People need someone that they can look up to. Having that symbol of peace will do just that. And also, the more users of One for All means the more chances One for All falls into enemy hands, and with a quirk like that, that just can't happen. One for All is Deku's quirk. And yeah, while it's possible to have the entire hero society walk around with One for All under its belt, I just don't think it should happen. I would love to see All Might make a return, however, and after coming up with this avenue the story can take, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Another reason that I don't see One for All being spammed out to the world is because it's simply not ethical to exploit ERI's quirk, especially after all that she's gone through. It's just not fair to her regardless of whether or not it's for good or for evil. And that's not to say that we can't take this idea and apply it elsewhere. We've already seen the dangers of a quirk like this falling into the wrong hands once. The implications this could have if it were to happen again could be catastrophic. However, there's ways she could use her quirk for good as opposed to evil. She can heal the injured by reversing time to a point before sustaining the injury. Kinda like Orihime's Soten Keshu from Bleach. The possibilities of how ERI can utilize her quirk truly are endless, so I will be making a part 2 to this theory, further breaking down all of the realistic things that I think can happen involving ERI's quirk in this series. However, that's all I got for now. Make sure you Detroit to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, make sure you Delaware smash the like button. I don't care as long as you like the video. And also drop a comment down below Let me know your thoughts, tell me what you think, tell me if I'm onto something, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. This is the Prince of 1098 signing out. Peace!